So I was looking for a story this morning that I could stand here and bring to y'all, and report on. And I came across a story about a Jacksonville, Florida neighborhood that, due to the fact that like the trash companies didn't have enough drivers, they weren't able to come pick up the garbage. Right. So like they weren't able to pick up the recycling. So like you're going to have to put your recycling in your garbage. That way we can deal with the yard waste. And then, we'll come through and deal with, the recycling afterwards or whatever it is, because we don't have enough drivers. And I was like, the driver thing's coming up again. Well, let's have this conversation. Right. Yep. The driver thing is coming up again. Well, basically, here's what's going on. They've, devalued the currency to the point where the average house now costs something like $400,000, somewhere around there, right? And so they priced most individuals out of the market. And while they've done this, they've stood here and, kept salaries basically the same or increased them a little bit, as it were. Now, I remember when I came into trucking about 8 years ago, the average truck driver pay was around like 35 cents a mile. It's up to around 52, which, I'm like, yeah, that's a big jump, but it's kind of not in the end of the day, right? They're still kind of trying to fuck over the American worker because that's, what trucking companies do. So I went and looked. I was like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's important. It says, what's driving the shortage? You know what I'm saying? Attracting new talent. Like 57% of the, truck drivers are over the age of 45, 23% are over 55, and 20% are under 45. So that's, a bit of an issue, when it comes down to it, right? They're having an issue with the fact that they can't get people to come out because nobody wants to spend 6 months on the road anymore. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? The end of the day, like if you have a family, if you have friends, you want to chill. You know what I mean? Like, they don't really want to stand here, and like be over the road their entire lives and end up with the massive amount of problems. And the other half is like, you don't really have a home. You're not really, saving for nothing. It's expensive as shit to live on the road. It's a pain in the ass. And just in general, like I've been over the road. It's awful. Right. So, they have 4,000 job postings requiring a CDL. It's one of the largest job postings, on any site. Like there's 155,000 different job postings on Indeed right now just for truck drivers, right? And then on top of that, like fucking, they've had like 38% less impact from like their postings and shit. So they stood here and I went and I looked, like some of these articles, and it said to combat the shortage, trucking companies and recruiters are trying a range of tactics, including increasing pay and sign-on bonus. But even though private fleet drivers have seen their pay rise in 2020 to an average of more than $86,000 a year from $73,000, in 2014, right? It's clearly not just a pay issue, which means the industry has to find additional ways to attract drivers. Well, it's clearly not a pay issue. We're giving you $86,000 a year, and that's not really true, right? Because me, I'm going to do a bunch of research, right? So they decided that instead of, raising the pay up to where it should be, because, let's be honest here, these companies really don't want to compete, right? That's the truth of the matter. They don't want to actually compete for, freight. That tends to be how it works. They don't want to have to raise their prices, especially these big conglomerates, right? And here's the actual truth. Only 65,000 a year. It's not fucking 84, right? Because these people fucking lie, right? They just want to bring in cheaper workers because it, saves them money on their bottom line, right? So I went through and I sat here and decided to look up the average salary of every company. So we'll say 80,000, right? Average. There's a lot of guys making less than that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like half of them make less than that fucking 80 grand. And by the way, they said 80 fucking 6,000 was how much they were paying motherfuckers. So we're about 6 grand off, right? This is CRST, right? CRST pays 57,000 a fucking year, right? And these are the bigger companies. This is why I'm looking at these companies here, right? CR England makes between $6 and $46 an hour, depending on, where your range is. Nobody should be allowed to make $6 an hour, but somehow CRST gets, or fucking CR England gets away with it because you're a shitbag company. right? Snyder is, I mean, somewhere between 31,000 and 82,000. You know what I'm saying? Or 21,000, 100,000, depending on what you're looking at, right? You know what I'm saying? But the vast majority of jobs are going to fall probably in the $50,000 to $60,000 range, right? And this is about, trucking is a lifestyle. It means that you can't drink. It means that you can't smoke weed because, like, literally they now have a clearinghouse, right? Which is another part of the issue, where if you fail a drug test, you'll get put into this clearinghouse system. And you won't be able to be a truck driver anymore until you get your name. You go through rehab and shit. Even for weed, right? And especially for weed. That's really what this is about, right? So as a truck driver, you can't smoke weed. You can't drink. You can't motherfucking, like, stay up late. You can't, you know what I mean, just take a day off when you want to because you're on the road and there is no days off on the fucking road. If you're on the road, you're working, you know what I mean? And, like, it'll leave you out there forever. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, they try to trap you out in another part of the country for as long as possible. Right? Go to UPS, right? UPS, 2987, right? Which is, they say 44% above the national average. That's that's goddamn retarded. That's not true. Right? I'll be honest, I'm a local driver and I make, you know what I'm saying, like 48 on average an hour or something like that. You know what I mean? Right? JB Hunt, you know what I'm saying, 44 to 54,000 a year, or 28,000 to 47,000 a year. That's straight truck driver. This is, you know, I mean, actual truck drivers. They do a lot of local work, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean, the last one is Warner, you know what I'm saying, somewhere between 17,000 and 98,000, or 32,000 to 76,000. So here's the thing. These companies, what they do, these giant conglomerates, what they do is they'll take freight. You know what I'm saying? Because they move the majority of freight in the United States, like these big companies. And what they do is, in order not to compete, you know what I mean, they all kind of keep their prices dumb low. Because, like, if they raise their prices to the point where they would be able to pay their drivers, or, you know what I mean, pay more drivers and attract new drivers, you know what I mean, that would literally break the system as a whole, to break the entire United States economy. And I'll be honest, like, I'm kind of with it. You know how this works, man. I'm down for us breaking the U.S. economy. But that's what would happen. And so, therefore, they can't raise their freight rates. They'll take freight below the cost of moving it, right, just to keep it out of other individuals' hands because they want to conglomerate the business. So this is what these companies are doing. And in doing so, you know what I mean, they have to have workers, you know what I mean, who are willing to accept, you know what I mean, lower pay, less benefits, you know what I mean? And, like, this is the thing, like, yo, legit, most of these companies, like, they'll offer benefits, but you have to pay for them out of pocket. They're not even getting on a level where, like, yo, we'll pay all your benefits, you know what I'm saying? Not like, none of these, like, yo, back in the day when you wanted to hire more workers, when you wanted better workers, you sat here and you said, well, you know, what we're going to do is we'll stand here and, you know, we'll give you free health insurance, and, you know, we'll give you free, you know what I'm saying, dental insurance, and we'll take care of your life insurance, and, you know what I mean, we'll offer you, you know what I mean, good benefit package. I mean, as far as retirement's concerned, we'll give you stock options, things of this nature. They ain't even interested in that. They ain't even trying to go that route. Right? Legit, they're like, yo, fuck you. We don't care. You know what I mean? Like, yo, because we don't want you to have health insurance. Right? Because that means you'll take time off of work to go to the doctor. It means you'll have doctor's appointments. Like, yo, we're not going to offer you stock options because, you know what, we don't want to take care of you long term. We're not interested in making you a part of the company. We just want you to drive and take this fucking money that you might or might not get. Because I'll be honest with you. Like, there's a lot of times where, like, you're going to be sitting in the truck stop waiting on a fucking load. Or sitting somewhere in the door waiting on somebody to unload you. It's complete and utter horseshit. Like, the whole thing. You know, and this is the problem. Like, you're going for, like, say, 14, 20, 30 days, 60 days of the shot going cross country. OTRing it up. Right? Some of them go, well, man, we'll have you 10 days out, 2 days home. You get 2 days with your family. You're going to offer me, what, 80 grand a year? Well, fuck off. Like, yo, fuck off, dude. Like, legit. Like, 2 days. I'm gonna get 2 days at the house. You know what I'm saying? That means that you have to survive on the road for 10 days at a shot. You can't have no relationship unless you want to take your bitch with you. You got kids? Can't take kids with you. Take your girl, but I'm tell you what, you're gonna have to pay for that insurance policy though. Now it's an extra $20 a week out your check. After Uncle Sam get done turning you every which way but loose. So if you have a family, you know what I'm saying, just basically working to pay child support, probably going to be staying at your parents' house when you get home. You're only home for 2 days. Like, why don't you make this worth it for us to go do this shit? And we'll come do it. Like, Americans will take jobs that pay well, but this isn't good pay. It's just not. Should be $150 a year. Just should be. It's what it's worth. You go, well, we'll go to Africa and bring every African here to come do it. Go ahead. See what happens. You know what I mean? I bet you $100, like, that's not going to last real long for you. So we'll shut that shit down in a heartbeat. Anyway, yo, look, Tom P's with Pnoid News. You know how this works. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Hit, support the channel in the description, man. Listen, I got all types of stuff down there. I got Search, I got Streamlabs, I got Patreon, I got all types of shit. You know what I mean? Yo, go check it out. Peace.